Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Darkest Hour. And this movie came out in 2017, and it was nominated for a few Oscars, including Best Picture the year it came out for the 2018 Oscars. And it was the only movie that was nominated for Best Picture that year that I haven't seen. And I finally watched it, and I thought it was fine. It was technically well made for the most part. The acting was good. Gary Oldman was pretty good in the movie. He did a really great job, and I was convinced by his performance. And Ben Mendelsohn was also really good in the movie. There were some shots in the movie that were kind of memorable, and plenty of them went on for longer than most movies would allow their shots to go on for. And that was about it. The movie was inoffensive. The film did what it had to, I guess. And it's just telling a true story, I guess. I don't know how accurate it is. I never looked that up. But all in all, I just wasn't attached to anything in this movie. The characters weren't interesting to me. The story wasn't interesting because I already knew where it was going to go. And the way things were presented was nothing special. And the film did feel very Oscar baity to me, and I just found that to be really distracting. And for those who don't know what that means, it just feels like a movie that wants to win Oscars or get nominated for Oscars. And this movie tried very hard to do that, and it was nominated for Oscars, and I believe it won Gary Oldman an Oscar. And he did a good job. Like, I'm not going to take that away from him. But aside from that, there's like nothing really to this movie. The visual effects in this movie didn't really hold up. There was some weird CG fire that didn't look good. There was like no smoke to it. I felt the movie was also too long and could have been shorter. The film was also very repetitive. Like, not much happened in the movie at all. It's just characters talking, and that's about it. And I get it. It's just characters talking, and it's not about the action. It's about the behind the scenes and like what people were talking about when all this stuff was going on. But at the same time, they just don't add anything to it. The dialogue isn't memorable or interesting. There's no scene that stands out to me as particularly memorable, and I just can barely remember anything about this movie. And this is one of those movies that is really bad to review simply because there's just nothing to talk about with this movie. Like, you can talk about some things here and there, but all in all, it's just a forgettable experience. And because of that, each scene just kind of vanishes from my head. Like, I watched this movie a few hours ago, and I can barely remember anything that happened. Like, I can't even remember an entire scene in this movie. I can't really remember much of where the story goes. I remember little bits here and there. I remember parts of scenes, but nothing as a whole. It's all just fading away. Within the next hour or so, I'm going to forget about at least 90% of this movie, maybe more. When that's the case, that's when you can really tell that the movie you just watched is not the best. Everything was just very bland, very safe, very Oscar baity, and that's about it. There's nothing else to the movie. It's just fine. Safe, forgettable, that's about it. It wasn't offensively bad, it was just kind of dull and unspecial. And that's about all I have to say about Darkest Hour. Sorry if you felt like I was just rambling on and on the entire time, but I was just like really trying to like figure out what to say here, because there isn't really much to talk about, and you can't even spoil it. Like, even if you were to try and spoil it, like, it's basically impossible. Like, there's nothing to spoil. Maybe like, I don't know, tiny things, and that would be like two tiny things. And I guess you could say the end of the movie is when the movie Dunkirk happens, and it's like, okay, I can just watch Dunkirk instead and just skip this movie entirely. So this is a film that you do not need to see. It's not worth your time. It's not offensively bad. If you really want to watch it for the first 20 minutes, and if it feels like this is a movie for you, then continue watching it. If not, then stop watching at that point, because it's not going to get better. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Darkest Hour a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Darkest Hour, and in my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Tickled. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.